Second, I'll be right back.
Maggie, do you know if Commissioner Vega and Burrell will join or not?
I spoke to Barat, but Vega never usually calls. He just shows up, and Barat as well. But today I did get a hold of Barat, and he said he would be on.
Okay.
Okay, but we have to start. So.
Oh,
There he is. Hello, Commissioner.
Hello.
Good evening, Commissioner.
Hi.
Okay, commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, commissioners and staff, welcome to the City of Paterson Board of Adjustment meeting on Thursday, March 31st, 2022, special meetings. You may proceed, Chairman Rohim.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
The notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Law has been certified with respect to this meeting. Certifying time, date, and location included in the annual notice, adopted at the reorg meeting of the board, filed with the city clerk of City of Paterson, posted in City Hall, and mailed to at least 2 newspapers. Madam Secretary, please call the roll call. Maggie, you're on mute.
Commissioner Barat,
Present.
Commissioner Furman,
Present.
Commissioner Minauro. Present. Thank you, Commissioner Watkins,
Present.
Commissioner White,
Present.
Commissioner Arenas,
Present.
Commissioner Vega, absent, and Chairman Rohim.
Present.
I have 7 commissioners in attendance this evening. Thank you.
Maggie, I'm here, sorry.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
so as we all know, we lost our chairman over the last weekend. It's sad news and thing we didn't expect too soon. He was with us for over 17 years, and he was the chairman for almost 15 years. And I'd like to have a moment of silence for the chairman. He will be missed in our board. Ever since I joined the board almost 6 years ago, he's always been the chairman. And I almost kind of follow him through getting to know this board. And he was like a mentor to me. So he will be missed by us. Let's have a moment of silence for him. Okay. One other thing I would like to request, if it's okay with all the commissioners, since Chairman been with us for 17 years, next 17 meeting, including today, if we could have a moment of silence for him, with the respect for him. Any commissioners have anything to say, please? One at a time.
Well, I would like to say something, nobody's saying nothing.
Commissioner Vega, or is
Well,
there?
It's a sad, moment for us to lose a man who's been in this board for such a long time. And the little bit I know him, he was a great guy, a great person. I hope the family is coping with this as best as they can. And we send that farewell. That's what I want to say.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioner Furman.
Go ahead, Commissioner Furman.
My condolences go to his family, or his friends, And definitely, Chairman Taton is going to be missed. Not just in this board, but the whole entire city of Paterson. That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Commissioner Byrne.
Thank you. I'd like to just add very quickly, I spent a lot of time with him over the years. Became really close. He wasn't just my superior, he was also my friend. And I will miss him a lot. Thank you.
Commissioner Monaro,
Go ahead, Commissioner Bernard.
I just want to give my condolences out to his wife, his family, and all those who are suffering right now, feeling his loss. I think it's a tremendous loss to this board and to the city as well. I think that we are all with him in prayers, uplifting the family, being supportive, and if there's any way that we can help, we're all here. I'm here to help.
Thank you.
Commissioner Baralt?
Commissioner Burrell.
Yes, I'd just like to say that it was shocking to me to learn the news, and I know that I've just met him, like, it hasn't been a year, but in the little time that I spent with him and talked to him, I could see a man of wisdom and a man who knew how to handle every situation, no matter how difficult, how easy, how hard it was. He always maintained his calm, and I really, appreciated that. He was a man that was always willing to do the best for the board, as well as for the witnesses that came to the cases, and above all for the city of Paterson. I really, I'm going to miss him, and this was really a shocking thing for me. And I just want to send my condolences to his family as well. And we are here to help. If there's anything that we can do, I'm here to help. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner.
Commissioner Watkins, a little emotional right now, I really am, but I actually known Daxon all my life. I want to send heartfelt condolences to Charlene, who is his wife, and Tiffany, who is his daughter. And I actually spoke to her several times. I've actually given all the information to Maggie, and hopefully Maggie will share them with you when she get a moment. He will be missed. Anything I needed to know, he had no problem answering the phone and questioning, but his knowledge of the Board of Adjustment was untouchable. So, yes, he will be missed. Rest in heavenly peace, Gerald.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Arenas.
I would also like to send my heartfelt condolences to his family, to his wife, and to all those who loved him very much and still love him. And I know that right now he's in the hands of our Lord and in a peaceful place. No more hurting, no more pain. But for the family, I just hope that and pray that the Lord in this moment, can be over them and help them in a very special, and may he give them strength to keep on his legacy and for his children, his teachings, and may the Lord be there for his wife also. That's all I have to say.
Thank you,
Amen.
Commissioner.
Commissioner Wayne,
Go ahead, Commissioner.
yeah, this was tough because I was reaching out to Chairman Thaxton on Friday. And he usually returns my calls, but he never returned a call. So I thought maybe he was tired and, needed some rest until I got the call from his daughter the next morning. And her and I talked, And I just want to send my condolences out to the family. There's no good time or any, to deal with these situations, but they do come up, and we know we all got to, have these challenges from time to time with our family members or close ones that we love too. But I wish them, to keep them in my prayers, and just hope that they were able to, just find some comfort in knowing that he was a loved man. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Madam Secretary, you can please call the agenda.
Thank you. Notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act addressing effect of coronavirus measures on the next public meeting, consistent with, please mute your mic. Consistent with the coronavirus-related restrictions of Executive Order Number 107, given on Saturday, March 21st, 2020, by Governor Philip D. Murphy, the Board of Adjustment of the City of Paterson will not conduct in-person participation of the public at all future meetings until further notice. However, public participation will be available by means of communication equipment pursuant to NJSA 10-4-8, commencing on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. Though there may potentially be a practical need for a limited number of administrative, technical, or other city personnel to be present in or near the council chambers, 3rd floor, City Hall, 155 Market Street, Paterson, New Jersey, in-person participation of the public is prohibited. Nevertheless, for reasons of compliance with the said Executive Order Number 107, public participation will be available by calling 973-321-1579, meeting ID number 711-680-001. On the date and time that the meeting is scheduled to commence, the public may also participate in the meeting by accessing the website of the City of Paterson, www.patersonnj.gov. The first case this evening is at 7:30. Tahan LLC, 137-143 East Railway Avenue, Block 7201, Lot 6. The applicant proposes to build a 2-story addition on top of the existing warehouse. The existing first floor will remain an existing wholesale distribution of food and gift products. The proposed second and third floor will be utilized as the same use and will be 12,049 square feet per floor. The applicant will be providing a total of 24,098 square feet of warehouse use. The applicant is providing 0 spaces of the 7 spaces required. This is for site plan approval, G variances and bulk variances in an I2 heavy industrial zone. The next application will be at 8 this evening. It is, if someone has a dog or a pet, maybe you'd like to put them away for a little bit in another room. Day Properties LLC, 9-13 Day Street, 382-386 Dakota Street, 388-392 Dakota Street, Block 6913, lots 4, 5, and 6. This was adjourned from the regular meeting of March 10th, 2022 meeting. This is an application to demolish an existing 1-story commercial building and then construct a new 4-story 30-unit apartment building on a 15,387 square foot lot. The minimum lot size for a 1- and 2-family dwelling is 50 by 100 in an R2 zone. The applicant proposes 40 parking spaces and an apartment vestibule on the first floor. There will be 31 bedroom apartments per floor. There will be 24 1-bedroom and 6 2-bedroom apartments for a total of 36 apartments in the proposed building. The applicant will provide 40 parking spaces of the 55 parking spaces that are required. This is for use bulk, D variances, and site plan in an R2 zone. Chairman, we can begin with the first case at Tahan LLC. Thank you.
Yes. Go ahead, Counsel.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you for, first of all, for hearing us on a special meeting basis. I'm sorry, with the first meeting, of course, is El Tahan, which we heard the agenda call on it. I'd like to just add my own comment briefly on behalf, I believe, of all the attorneys and professionals that have appeared before this board over the many years. Our deep sadness and hurt that we all feel with regard to the loss of Jerry Thaxton. He was not only a staple and fixture of this board for many, many years, he was a longtime servant of the city of Paterson. I had the opportunity to serve with him in many capacities, especially in Paterson Little League, and I had the opportunity to see the way he worked with and handled young children, which was really amazing at that time, and something I'll never forget. Really wish his family the best in terms of their dealing with and grief at this time. I'd also just like to add also this board lost its longtime planner last week, Tony DeFranco, who served the city with distinction for 35 years. And it was also a great loss. He served the city for many, many years in that capacity. So it has been a sad week for the Paterson Planning and Zoning Division. Thank you. With regard to El Tahan, ready to proceed, we'll be calling Nasser as our architect, and the applicant is present as well. The application is relatively straightforward with regard to this existing business in the I-2 zone, which is a heavy industrial, of course. This business has existed on this site in Paterson for approximately seven years. My client, fortunately, has been in this type of business for approximately 27 years in the state of New Jersey. So he's a very experienced operator of this type of distribution facility. He does employ Paterson residents almost exclusively. He's got 3 shifts, 5 employees per shift. His hours have been 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. He'd like to expand it a little bit in conjunction with this project, the expansion. But the main reason for the expansion is that he needs more space for storage to properly handle and facilitate the distribution of these products to wholesalers and retailers outside of this area, really all over the country, which he'll talk about as well. So we think this is a very solid Paterson business that would like to stay here. He owns the property, and he would like to expand it in order to have the facilities to keep moving forward. That being said, we'll call Nasser as our first witness.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Say your full name for the record, please.
Nasser Al Mukhtar, ALMUKHTAR. Located at, I'm the principal at Heritage Madison Architecture, 1171 Madison Ave, Paterson, New Jersey.
Thank you.
Yeah, we accept your credentials.
Nasser as an expert?
Yes.
We thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Nasser, you had an opportunity to prepare the site plan, which you'll be posting tonight as well.
That's correct.
Okay, if you want to do that at this time.
Sure, I'll start sharing.
Just bear with us for 1 minute here.
Commissioners, can you see the drawings in front of you?
Not yet.
It's coming up on our screen, so hopefully shortly.
We have a different type of screen.
Yeah, we're seeing your WordPad screen.
The,
Maybe if you want to exit out and re-share it.
anything now?
No, you have the same screen, sir.
Sorry, one second.
Yeah, now we don't see it anymore. Try sharing it again.
Any luck now?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm using a new computer, so,
Excuse me, Maggie, Commissioner Minaro, do we have this in our emails, the plans?
Yes, I have them, but I
Yeah.
cannot post them.
Okay,
Like, we can't do that, then we don't catch up with him as he testifies. That's why they do it on their own. But here it's coming.
okay, understood.
Yeah, now we see your screen.
how is it now?
Just like. Yeah, we see it.
You see the drawing?
You just took it down.
Yeah. We
I'm
have.
sorry?
Put it down, they said.
You just took it down. It was up.
There it is.
Yeah, now we see it.
You see it now?
Yes, they said.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. It's a new computer I got, and
All right,
I'm
so
just not.
if you can do the magnified, Nasser, that would be helpful, of course,
Yes, sure. So this application is for a two-story addition for an existing warehouse. I'm going to zoom into the existing, this is a one-story warehouse. It's facing East Railway Ave, 143 East Railway Avenue. It's located in the I-2 heavy industrial zone. It has a loading dock on this side.
Now, sir, could you give the date of the plan that you're describing, please, for the record?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Can zoom into that. It's July 31st, 2020.
Thank you.
Sure. So currently, there's a one-story warehouse, as I mentioned. In the front, there's a couple overhead doors. There's a south entrance for a loading dock overhead door. And there are some offices towards the front facing East Railway Ave. And then there's a showroom where people want to get some wholesale things. There's just a display of the items that they have for sale there. The changes on the first floor will be to take down one wall, reduce it a little bit in order to provide two overhead doors for the loading and unloading. Currently, they have only one door on the side. So the proposal is to expand the loading, unloading area and provide another overhead door, 10-foot wide. Right 15 feet behind those two doors, there will be a freight elevator, 10 by 10, 12,000 pound capacity, so that it can haul the materials that from the delivery from the trucks, it goes to the freight, either the first floor or the freight elevator to the proposed upper two floors. The square footages, currently at the first floor we have 11,900. Second and third floors are going to be 12,049 square feet each for a total of 36,000 square feet. The applicant obviously has a problem. I have been to the warehouse several times. They do have a problem with they do shipping from overseas, so they do have a problem with storage, and that's the main issue that they have. He definitely urgently needs to add a couple of floors in order to be able to provide enough storage for the containers that are being shipped in from overseas. The layout for the upper floors is basically just an open area for a warehouse. 2 bathrooms, a passenger elevator, 2 sets of staircases to satisfy the egress requirements, 1 set on each side of the building, and obviously the 100 square foot wide, 100 square foot area for the freight elevator. The rest will be all just storage. There's no offices or anything. So basically, the existing offices on the first floor are to remain. He's not adding any offices, so because he doesn't need more employees, but he needs the space, basically. And going down to the Florida Ave elevation, these are the 2 floors that we're adding, and then these are the 2 overhead doors. The one on the right is the existing door. The one on the left is the proposed door. We're also adding a man door for egress purposes. The proposed height is 50 feet for the structure. And I think Mr. Paparazzi will come to the variances that we are allowed 40 feet maximum in this zone. So we're asking for this variance. He does need a higher floor because obviously he would do a racking system in order to stack up the merchandise that he has for his warehouse. So the higher, the better, and this is why we went a little bit over the maximum height, but he does need the space for the racking system, as I mentioned. And then the front elevation for East Railway Avenue, on the left side of the building, there's another overhead door for deliveries. And then we have the right side and the rear side elevations. We're not opening windows on those sides because it's very close to the property lines. So the windows we're adding only towards Florida Ave and East Railway Ave. In terms of the, I think Mr. Paparazzi was mentioning in his report about the refuse, there will be a private contractor and they would have the refuse inside the warehouse on the first floor, right between the freight elevator and the overhead doors, the existing and the proposed. The private hauler will come in with his truck back into those loading doors. They bring the refuse in there and then they leave. So it will all be contained inside until the private hauler, whenever they need, they call them, they come in to pick up their refuse. I think that's basically it. Obviously, subject to any questions.
Okay, I could just follow up, Nasser, if I could briefly. Obviously, this is a heavy industrial district, I-2, right?
That's correct.
So there are very many comparable uses in this area.
Yes, it's mostly warehouses, industries, things like of that nature.
Right. And one other follow-up on the deliveries and shipping. If you're aware, if not, we can refer to our applicant later on. Do you know how often the shipping goes on in terms of into and out of the site?
For the refuse?
Right. No, for products
Twice
a day? Or
yes.
Yeah, 2 times a day.
So in and out, total twice. Okay. All right. So, and you're satisfied that the ingress and egress for deliveries and leaving the premises functions?
It should be fine, yes. Currently, they have a problem, obviously, because they're choking with this space. There's no space. So sometimes they have to put some merchandise on the sidewalk. And that's why we're asking for this addition. He is in desperate need for this.
Right.
He doesn't want to leave this location. He's been there 7 years. It's an industrial zone, it's not a residential zone, so I think,
And then but in terms of the driveway and turnarounds and ingress and egress, you're comfortable that it creates no negative impact on surrounding areas?
well, there's going to be some because, they have to back up into the driveway,
Right.
but I don't think it's significant.
And again, it's surrounded by similar industrial uses.
That area is all industrial, yes.
Right. So that's a kind of a fact of life in that district, so to say.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right. Okay. That's all I have, subject to any questions for Nasser.
Chairman, okay, thank you. Mr. Mariconda, who else is going to testify? Is there anyone else?
Yeah, just the applicant, the owner, Mr. Dan.
Okay, all right. Nasser, you show on your Florida Avenue the proposed 2 doors. Those doors are only 10 feet wide? Is that what they are, or 12 feet wide?
I believe it's 10 feet each.
10 feet each? Okay.
Yes.
And you don't show where the recycling or the garbage is going to be stored on your plan. Can you show us here, but then also if the application is approved, you need to show that on your plan so
Yes.
that there is, okay?
Sure. So it will be collected in this area. I don't know if you see the arrow of my pointer.
Yes, won't that block the freight elevator?
No, the freight elevator door is here. So it can be on the side of the freight elevator.
Okay.
Or we're flexible. I don't know what your opinion is. Maybe we can place it behind the freight elevator and then they can wheel it out when the garbage hauler comes in. They can just wheel it out to the doors and then he can pick it up and go.
No, it can't go there because it would be in the way of the deliveries. Aren't they going to use those bays for deliveries and pickups and deliveries?
Behind the elevator?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
Behind the elevator should
If
be.
that's okay with you, we can place it behind the elevator.
Okay. I know you have your zoning chart on this, so I'm going to go over the variances with you and the board.
Yes.
I have the minimum front setback on East Railway, 10 feet, 0 is proposed. The minimum front setback on Florida, 10 feet, 0 is proposed. The minimum side setback on East Railway is 10 feet, 0 is proposed. The minimum side on Florida, 10 feet, 0 is proposed. I have a maximum height in the I-2 as 40 feet and 50 is proposed, which is a D variance. There also is a floor area ratio of 2.0 and 2.67 is proposed, which is also another D variance. And I have a parking requirement. Now you have 7, I have 9, and that is because I included the office space. I'm not sure if you included the office space because I had 2 for the office, for the sizes of the square foot of the office. So that would make your 7, 9, it would match my number. So if the application gets approved, that needs to be revised and an area to show the garbage collection. Also, I would suggest that you work that out with the fire department. I don't know what's being stored. So you don't want to have dumpsters or cardboard and have an issue with the fire department if you're storing inside.
Yes, if I may, sure. For the parking count, we asked him for the number of employees that he has, and he stated he has 5 employees
Per shift.
per shift, and we added 2 for the work. So, but 7 or 9, we're asking for a parking variance. We
Right, yeah, the parking variance is based on the storage area, and then I had added the additional for the office. It's not based on the employees. Yeah, so it's based on the square footage of the storage and the square footage of the office. That's what comes out to 9, not the number of employees.
Yeah, gotcha.
And also, when you think about it, you have five employees and you have 3 offices. Okay, so you're at 8 just with that count. So,
Yeah,
obviously, you know,
that's fine.
okay. Do you know offhand, or should I save this for the owner, on how many deliveries do they get per day?
Twice a day.
Twice a day? And also, export is twice a day?
In and out? Yeah. Yes, correct.
Okay, good. And you said the office, the building is open 8 to 6. Is that Monday to Saturday?
Yes.
Yes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, for Nasser.
Yeah, just one thing, if I may, just to clarify.
Yes.
Zero setback, we're proposing to build right on top of the existing structure, and this
That's
is.
right. But you know what happens, when you add on, it gets exacerbated, the condition. So in other words, the front setback is 15 feet. Now it's going to be 50. So it becomes a variance when you extend it more up or more to the side. I know it is existing, but it just exacerbated now, and that's why those come into play.
Well, 100% understood. The only thing, structurally, and, you know, it makes a lot more sense to build on top of the existing walls. I think you will agree with me. That's why.
Yeah, it does. Well, you don't have any room to build anywhere else. So,
The footprint is the footprint, that's it, yeah.
yeah, I know. But Mr. Maracando, what I'm saying is when it gets exacerbated, when it gets added on, it becomes a
Oh, no, I understand. We're basically, we're stuck with that structural layout at this point. Yep.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, for that.
And for the fire department, we will contact them definitely and get their approval. No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any commissioners?
Commissioner Vega, Chairman.
Go ahead, Commissioner Vega.
What type of deliveries were you guys are receiving here? These are large boxes. Is this the type of what do you guys sell or transfer or?
Well, we want to have the applicant testify to that. My general description was food products and gift products, but I think it's best for the applicant to describe that, Master, would you say?
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because of you know, the space. You know, you need two more levels. So.
Right.
I'm trying to understand, you know, the reason why you need 2 more levels if you're working on.
Because of the volume of business. Fortunately, he's a growing Paterson business. But I think it's best for everyone if he describes the type of products that he sells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alluding to that.
It's a good thing that he has a thriving business here, I believe, in Paterson, and he's located in the I-2 zone, so, you know, the more the merrier, I guess.
Yeah, but I think he'll able to give you more detail about the type of products. I think that's what your question is, Commissioner?
Yes, in that sense. But let me continue with the other questions. I'm sorry.
Sure.
You can hold that for the whole.
Yep.
So I'm trying to find, so where the parking for the employees are. I mean, I don't see it here in the plan, so.
Well, that's what we're asking for, a parking variance.
Right.
There's no parking.
Right, there's no parking on site, never has been. This is a very old industrial area, and this particular building has never had the luxury of a parking area on site. But if you know the I-2 industrial zone down there, there is on-street parking, and the employees, my applicant will testify to the fact that many of his employees live within walking distance of the business, and if not, they can come together. It's definitely a very localized Paterson employee base.
Okay, well, my next question was the disposal of the garbage, but Mr. Paparazzi already touched on that. And, okay, that's all I have. Everything else is heights and variances on sides. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Vega. Any other commissioners?
Commissioner Baralt?
Commissioner Burrow, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Nasser.
Yes, sir.
Before this construction takes place, you're not, by adding this, a new structure, you're not increasing, any more employees or any more, need, for additional employment? What's it?
At this point, we don't believe so. I mean, obviously, it's a growing business, but he thinks he can handle the additional storage and distribution function with his given staff because he rotates in groups of 5 people. But obviously, we can't rule out the possibility of a future increase in employees, but we're not seeking that. We're not anticipating that right away, certainly.
Well, that's one of my concerns, that what happens if we grow and he needs, to hire more people? Are they also going to go on street side parking? That's the only thing that bothers me.
He doesn't anticipate any increase. That's why the second and third floors, the proposed floors, we don't have any office space there. It's mainly storage only. And obviously, we have to provide the toilet facilities for the employees. If I may, I can scroll down to the proposed floor plan of the second and third floors. If you can see this, it's just one big open space that will have the systems, 2 staircases, past elevator, 2 bathrooms, and then the freight elevator. Other than that, he doesn't need office space, basically. He really is in need of storage.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
he has.
One last question. How many years, is your business in operation in that area?
Right, I think I indicated in my opening, I can certainly have the applicant confirm it. He acquired this building and has been active running the business there for 7 years, but he has a total of 27 years experience in this type of business in the state of New Jersey.
Okay. All right. I have no more questions. That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Burrow. Any other commissioner?
Yes, hi, good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Furman. I do have a question for Mr. Nasir.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Nasir, how do you pronounce your name? I'm sorry.
Nasser.
Nasser, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no problem.
How is the garbage gonna be handled?
Just like I explained earlier, I'm going to zoom into this area. There's a freight elevator here where my pointer is. The garbage is going to be behind it, and then it's going to be hauled through a private contractor. So they call the truck. When he comes in, he backs into this loading dock area. We have 2 overhead doors. They wheel those recyclable and refuse containers a short distance to the front of the doors. The truck picks it up and leaves. So it's going contained inside the building all the time.
What type of container are we planning to provide there? Is it a dumpster? Is it a compactor?
It's going to be probably those small containers with a wheel, like a 4 cubic feet or a 6 cubic feet refuse containers.
So
Maybe
always
2.
gonna be locked?
I'm sorry?
So always gonna be locked?
Yes, it's going to be inside. People from the outside have no access to it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrow. Any other commissioner?
Commissioner Minaro.
Go ahead, Commissioner Naro.
Mr. Nasser, good evening. I just wanted to say, do you know where currently where the dumpster is right now? Where they have it located now, presently?
I don't remember. No, I don't know.
The applicant could testify to that in terms of where he handles it.
Okay. Then I'll wait for the applicant. Thank you very much.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners?
Can I open it to the public?
Yes.
Thank you. To members of the public, if you have any questions of the applicant's professional with regard to the testimony you heard, now is not the time for comments or statements, but if you have any specific questions as to the testimony you heard, you could call 973-321-1579. Again, 973-321-1579, and enter meeting ID number 711-680-001. Once again, 711-680-001. Let's give it a moment.
We have no callers at this time.
Thank you. Okay, next witness.
Yes, we'll be calling the applicant, I think we have to put him back on the screen, Nasser, to,
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, if that's okay.
okay, so we're ready to proceed, Mr. Chairman, as soon as we're up on the screen. Are we up?
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
good. Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Swear. Keep your voice up.
I swear.
Please state your full name for the record, please.
ثروت E. الطحان.
Can you spell that?
THARWAT ELTAHAN.
And are you hearing him okay?
Can he speak up or get closer?
Yeah, you gotta speak voice, you gotta project your voice louder, okay?
Yes. ثروت E. الطحان. ثروت THARWAT E. الطحان ELTAHAN.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Tahan, you are the principal owner of the company that is the applicant this evening called Tahan LLC, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you heard all our presentation on your behalf up to this point. You've heard all the testimony
Yes, sir.
and all the questions. Are you in agreement with Nasser's testimony?
Yes, sir.
Your voice up again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with respect to your operation, we've touched upon a lot of the experience you have. 27 years in this business?
Yes, sir.
And 7 at this location at a building you purchased, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell the board, if you would, what type of products you distribute and where do the products go?
Yes, we import from overseas. We import from overseas. We supply the big wholesale company in the United States for a long time. All what they need for the grocery item, food, gift shop, tools, anything they wanted, we sell it before we buy it. We supply the big wholesale company here.
Okay, so you're not manufacturing or producing food products on site. It's your distribution only, right?
Yes. We receive the container, we ship container.
Okay. And again, we talked about your hours. You would expect it to stay approximately 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And the storage, as Nasser indicated several times, is to allow your existing staff to do the work. Is
Yes.
that right? Okay. So you don't anticipate at this time adding new employees?
No, I don't need. I just need storage.
Okay. And with respect to how your garbage is removed now, Nasser has developed a good plan with the new site plan. How do you handle it now?
We do it the same way. We do it the same way. We have a contract with Gieta company. They come, they give us a container. We put it inside at the warehouse from the front door, the Florida Eastern Way Avenue. And when they come, they pick up it. We take it out and we give it to them and we bring it back inside.
How often does Gator come, do you know?
On call. They come twice a week, but if we need stuff, we call them immediately because we have a small one, not big.
Okay, great. And your surrounding uses there are industrial or warehousing type of businesses around your area?
All of them.
Okay. You're not near any residential
No,
uses?
no. We all import. We all deal with big quantity containers.
Right. Okay. All right. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, at this time.
Thank you. Gary?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Tahan, I heard that the hours were 8 to 6, and then I heard 6 to 8. Can you verify, is it 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday?
8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday, Friday.
Okay, so it's 8 a.m. because I thought it was
8
just 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Yes.
And what about Saturday?
We open sometime from 9 to 2 o'clock if we have containers coming.
Okay.
Not all day, okay.
Okay, so it's 8 to 6. And let me ask you, the food that you store, is that perishable?
The food is Mediterranean food. It's contain cans, containers. It's not something loose. It's
Okay.
not.
No, okay. All right. Now you have a bay door on the East Railway Avenue side, and now you're going to have 2 bay doors on the Florida Avenue side.
Yes, sir.
You have 3 bay doors, but the testimony was there's only 2 deliveries a day.
2 in and out, or total of 4, or how did you describe it?
No, we do 2 in and out, but we have another problem that containers stay in port. Storage is $400 a day. So if I receive the container, I need at least a day or a day and a half to unload it. So I need to have 2 containers at the time. If I leave the container in the port, they charge me $400 every single day. And if I leave it in the street, the city Paterson, they're gonna tow the container and run away. So I need at least 2 space for 2 containers, parking for 2 containers all time.
Okay, so the bay doors are for the drop off of the containers so that you could unload them and okay.
Yeah, it's like garage for me.
Okay, and you mentioned a dumpster for garbage. Do you need a second one for recycling?
No. Yes, okay.
You must have a recycling dumpster.
They come every day. Every day they pick up the recycle, the cardboard. We are next door to Gieta. The company is next us. So every day we give them the recycle. They took it for free.
Okay.
My company is just next door to the Gieta Recycling Company.
Yes.
So that's why
it's easy for you to handle recycling.
Every day we put it in our truck and we give it to them. They take it for free.
Okay. All right. Actually, the recycling actually should be put out so the city gets the credit for it. But I understand it's working for you. So if you can, at least the cardboard, which is probably a large part of your recycling, that should be put out so that city gets credit for the recycling.
We'll certainly take that into consideration.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, for Mr. L. Tahan.
Thank you, Gary. Any commissioners?
Commissioner Furman, I do have a couple of questions.
Go ahead, Commissioner Furman.
My first question is, are you Paterson resident? Do you live in Paterson? Are you a Paterson resident?
No. I'm in Hohokus.
How about all the employees that work for your place? Are they Paterson? Are they from Paterson?
Yes, all of them.
How do they commute to your place? Do they drive?
Walking and bicycle.
Everybody lives close by?
Yeah, all of them. Paterson is very good for employee. It's very good.
Do you own any other business in Paterson?
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yes.
What other type of business do you own?
Same thing, storage.
Okay.
I bought across the street from my location. I bought another building in Alabama Avenue, so we have more storage.
Your business, at the present time, is in a good standing, meaning no violations with the city?
Yes, sir. We've been in business for 27 years, and thank God, everything is fine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Commissioner Furman. Any other commissioner?
Chairman, Mr. Vega.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Vega.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tahan. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
So my question is this: you said you get 2 deliveries per day, every day, basically. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now that you're gonna have a bigger, let's say if we approve it, you're gonna have a bigger 2 stories. How many deliveries are you gonna have now?
Same, no change.
So you still get 2 containers, and you have space to put all your stuff inside the warehouse.
Yes, sir.
So what's the reason why you're gonna have the same delivery every day? So what's the reason why you wanna have 2 levels?
I think as he indicated earlier, he has a real problem with that storage space being so limited, and he's, really, bursting at the seams, so to speak, so he does need that storage space. But the number of trucks stay the same?
Yes. To be honest, I'm paying around $40,000 in storage per pallet. Each pallet $25 in Clifton.
And you wanna bring it,
Okay, all right. So you have,
I bring the container and I send it to Clifton.
so you wanna to condense your locations to one spot?
correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Regarding your employees, so your employees, whoever comes to this location obviously has to either drive and they park outside, and then by 8 o'clock everybody goes home. Is that correct?
He indicated that almost everyone, I think everyone, either walks or bicycles from within the immediate area. So if there was a need for an employee to bring a vehicle, they would have to be on street parking, but that's not been your experience so far, no.
Okay, that's all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Vega. Any other commissioner?
Commissioner Watkins, my question is going to be directed to Mr. Mariconda, because
Yes.
I don't really understand. I don't understand the applicant. So could you explain what is it exactly that he'll be selling?
Okay, I think what his stated testimony is that these products are packaged, boxed, container contained, no food products that are perishable. These are food products that have an ethnic background primarily, and they come here packed and sealed. There's absolutely none of these products, are in any way exposed or open. These are canned containers with food products for distribution. And I guess there's some gift products that are also part of it, but the primary is food, canned food products.
So on the sign that's outside of his building, it says hookah and hookah products. So he's not selling hookah.
I'm sorry?
He's not selling hookah products, because outside of that building, it's a sign saying it's hookah products.
Okay, the food products come on pallets, but are you selling anything in terms of, you're not selling any retail hookah products or anything of that nature, are you?
No, we import by container. We import by container and we sell by pallet. We sell only to wholesale. So anything we sell before we buy to supply the wholesale company in the whole United States, Canada, and South America, okay, I do it. So they ask me for gift, for hookah, for food, for anything they wanted. We buy by container. Each container has 22 pallet or 20 pallet. We put it by pallet and we ship it by pallet.
So even whatever these products that might include hookah are contained on the pallets and shipped?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's one.
Okay, it's just that on the outside sign, that's all you see. So that's why I had to be clear with that.
Okay, sure.
Commissioner White,
Go ahead, Commissioner White.
regarding the products that you're going to sell to distributors, will there be any online products being sold, and will there be anybody come there to your site to pick them up?
Shipping only?
No, shipping only.
No customers coming to pick up on site?
We don't have.
Any online sales to retail? Nothing?
No.
Okay, so I looked at your reviews and they were mentioning a lot of online sales. So I was trying to understand what, if you're not doing it, why they are saying online that they're waiting for online orders and they haven't been received. So Are you or are you not doing online sales?
I have.
Yeah, there's an online element to the ordering for the products, but I thought you meant online for retail purposes. If that's, maybe that.
No, he told me he was a distributor and selling wholesale products, so I understood that part.
The location in Paterson, it's only for ballot. I have another 4 location, one in Jersey City, I have one in Massachusetts, I have one in Canada, Montreal, Toronto, Dominican Republic. We are a big company.
Okay, so the online products that you're selling to your distributors, there's no distributor that is coming to your facility to pick up pallets of stuff because either you can't get to it or they're closer. So everything's being shipped out from your facility. No one's coming in.
No. If it's by ballot, yes, he can come back up 1 ballot, but we don't break it.
Okay, so someone may come there to pick up pallets then, right? So
a truck, he can send a truck, he can send a trucking company to pick up 1 ballot, 2 ballot, 3 ballot, no problem.
Okay, so that does happen. So you may have people that may park outside waiting for the pallets to go into the trucks. Am I correct?
No. We deal with trucking company. Trucking company, they take up, make appointment, they come 9 o'clock to pick up 1 ballot. Okay, other company, 1 by 1. We don't give 2 appointments, okay, for 2 trucks in the same time.
Okay, so it's by appointment.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commissioner or Gary?
Commissioner Arenas?
Go ahead, Commissioner Arenas.
Okay, I just want to understand, so you are an import and export company?
Import only.
Okay, import. Okay, that's why everything is contained and sealed?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to ask another question. I'm sorry, I should ask.
Sure. Go ahead, Commissioner Vega.
Mr. Tahan, what's the size of your other location of the warehouse you have nearby? What's the size of the location?
Across the street, I have the size of 22 container. Alabama, around 5,000 square foot. Jersey City, I have like 100,000 square foot. But to be honest with you, Paterson is very lucky. I don't know what's going on. A small warehouse in Paterson, 15 square foot, it makes sale $2-3 million. I don't know. It's lucky because next to me is the biggest importer of cheese in the whole country. The next door is the biggest supplier of retail, of wholesale and retail, Barodi, Greenland. I'm in the middle of the big.
Okay, so the bottom line is you have various locations. Each one has a different size or square footage requirement, but this is where you want to be for this location.
Paterson, I'm very lucky with Paterson. I don't know what's going on. Paterson is good luck. I make good money with it.
Yeah, good. That's
any warehouse around retail in Paterson, in my location, I buy it.
That's great. Mr. Tahan, the reason why I'm asking is because you're requesting to go 10 feet higher this building. So if
10 feet over the maximum.
the maximum. Yeah. So I mean, if you could go 1 level up, and if you could do your business, increasing your business with 1 level up, and stay a little bit under the variances, that might work. That's what I'm saying. I just want to know where, how much. I know you want to put everything here. I understand that, but you're also going 10 feet higher than allowed.
Right, we understand that. He's made a very long and detailed analysis of what the needs are here, and we feel very strongly, based on Nasser's testimony, that the 10-foot allowance above the maximum is reasonable in terms of meeting his needs. But also, let's be realistic. In the I-2 heavy industrial, there are other buildings that are beyond the size of the height requirements in the I-2 zone. But we don't think this creates any negative impact whatsoever down there in the heavy industrial zone. And it really does still basically conform to the surrounding area.
Well, none of that.
To have Nasser add something as well. I didn't mean to.
Sorry, Commissioner. So obviously in warehousing, you need a racking system. And if we lower the height, then we're going to lose a lot of storage space that he is in dire need for. And this is why we're in front of the board asking for this 10-foot variance, which is usually, I mean, I think it's a small request compared to the other heights in the neighborhood. And also for our racking system, for the storage system, for the forklifts, we need a higher, but we said, let's stick to that and just ask for this 10-foot variance. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer.
Nassar, this is Gary. I'm sorry, Commissioner Vega, this is in line with your questioning. Your proposed second floor and third floor is only 12 feet. So you're not going, you're not doing like on the first floor, which is 25 feet. You're not making it so that it's that necessary. The 12 feet is what Mr. Commissioner Vega is talking about. You're only proposing 12 feet. It's not that you need you're proposing 25 feet each floor for racking. You only have 12 foot on the second and 12 foot on the third.
Exactly. Yeah.
So his questioning is along those lines.
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, in reality, if we had more, if we can have more, it's good. But we can live with the 12. We thought we would strike a balance between the more height and the lesser height, and this would be something acceptable to us.
But I mean, Nassar, perhaps maybe I'm reading something into that question that may not be there, but it's Gary's analysis or his line of questioning. Isn't there a reason why 2 floors of 12 feet are more efficient and functional than maybe just 1 floor? Maybe I think that's what he's getting at. I'm not sure.
Like 1 floor that's 24 feet? Is that what you meant, Karen? Or?
Well, I think Commissioner Vega was saying that, in other words, you're 25 feet now. Make one floor 15 feet, and you can meet the maximum. And that was, I think, that's what Commissioner Vega's question was.
And your racking system, yes.
A taller floor, it could stack higher. That's all.
It's hard to function.
Yeah, but this would definitely reduce significantly the amount of storage that we can have in here. That's
Yeah, and I think that isn't it from a functionality standpoint, the 2 levels easier to organize and manage?
definitely because the height. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, that's all the questions I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Commissioner
you.
Vega. Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I want to ask Mr. El Tahan another question.
Sure.
Yeah, Mr. El Tahan, in line with Commissioner White's questioning, how many people come to pick up pallets per day? You said you only had 2 deliveries per day, but how many people schedule to come and pick up pallets?
2
I didn't know that there was pickup. I thought it was only coming in and out from you. But how many people send trucks per day to pick up?
Is that by appointment, or how does that work?
By appointment.
And how many per day is an average?
Maximum 2, 3. We don't.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Anyone else?
Commissioner Minaro, Chairman.
Yes. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you. Sir, where do you park the car? Where do you park your car? Where do you park your forklifts currently?
I have cross the street, big lot. I have a lot. I bought cross the street a diner, and it has 3 lots beside it.
Okay, I'm just asking because when you look on Google Maps, you see that your car is parked, or one of the cars are parked on the sidewalk. Then you also see that the forklift is outside on the sidewalk as well. And so is the garbage, for the garbage pickup for Gata's tank is also, the containers also there on blocking passage on the sidewalk. And although it's a really big industrial area, yes, it is, I'm very familiar with that. There's also a project that was just approved for a large residential area that's going to be about 1.5 blocks away.
We understand, and we do think with the ability for him to use his own lots in the surrounding area, there is definitely not going to be a parking problem for he and his staff, but we certainly understand there is a residential project down that way. That's quite a bit away from this site.
Well, again, following Commissioner Monaro's statement, if you, Mr. Mariconda, if Mr. El Tahan has that ability then why is he parking on the sidewalk now? If
Well,
he's
I mean-
parking on the sidewalk now without the extension, is the board to believe now, if the proposal is approved, that those cars are gonna go into the parking lot across the street? Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Monaro.
His testimony is that the employees do not park on site or on the street. He was talking about his own vehicle, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but why is his own vehicle then parked on the sidewalk if he has room across the street?
He can utilize the public street, of course, but if he can park vehicles across the street, he certainly would. Can you?
Yes, we have, okay, across the street, the electric company, they took off the building and they put it so it's free. We have a lot of empty area.
Street parking.
Street parking, yes.
And you have a lot across the street that's utilized in any way, or are you able to park there if needed?
No, we don't have that much, around between the area, they don't have cars.
No. Your lot across the street is what he's asking you
Oh,
about.
yeah. We have a big space for parking. We're gonna have, we never had a problem.
Understood. However, if you care to Google it yourself, the address, you'll see that the car is parked right on the sidewalk.
Well, again, we don't know what cars are parked on the sidewalk. I mean, they may very well be the applicant, or they may be other people who work in the heavy industrial zone. We don't know. But
Mr. Maracanda, I think what she's trying to say, Monaro, is that you're parked on the sidewalk.
not on the sidewalk.
Yes.
You're not parking vehicles on the sidewalk, are you?
No, the car was parked on the sidewalk.
On the sidewalk.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant on street. I'm sorry. And are you parking? You're not utilizing the sidewalk yourself for parking, are you?
We use it to put.
Keep your place up.
We put our pallet in the sidewalk now.
But we're talking about vehicles, not pallets.
No. We have a loading dock. As a storage, we have across the street. We have our parking lot across the street, and we put our truck across the street.
And we acknowledged during the earlier part of our testimony that there was such a need for overflow that once in a while there would have to be a pallet outside, and we want to eliminate that. So
Yes.
I don't think we're creating any vehicle parking issue on the sidewalk area.
Yeah, Mr. El Tahan, you can't utilize the sidewalk for any pallets, for any vehicles, and for your forklift. Your building is on the property line. Even though there is no car parking there, pedestrians are supposed to be using the sidewalk, and you cannot block it with pallets, vehicles, or forklifts, or any other equipment. So
Yes, sir.
if the application is to be approved, that would be part of the condition, that has to stop, and that has to stop immediately. Yeah, you can't use the city property for your personal application.
Right. Can't use any part of the sidewalk area for his business parking, we agree, or pallets. And if that is occurring because of the shortage of space, he has to find another solution until we get, hopefully, this approval and other parking is available.
Any other commissioner?
Commissioner Watkins,
Go ahead.
Mr. Mariconda.
Yeah.
He said he parks across the street from the building. Across the street from that building is actually another building not in use. So everything over there is dilapidated. So if they decide that they're going to build in that spot, he will no longer have any place to park his equipment.
He owns the lot, I think the lot you're referring to is a lot that he owns, I believe.
Okay, so you're not sure. Could
I mean, that's my recollection.
No, it's mine. I own it.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Oh, okay.
I own it.
Ms. Watkins, I think, he has a lot. He has a lot. I'm sorry, he has a lot where he puts his containers. It's right next to the diner. That
Yeah,
lot
right. I
is
see the empty diner.
Yeah.
And
The diner, the lot behind the diner, and the lot in front of the diner, and the lot behind the diner is mine. I bought it.
Yeah, okay.
We have enough storage for container, for trailer, for anything.
Thank you. Anyone else? Marco, do you want to open it up to the public?
Yes. Okay, to our members of the public, If you have any questions of the applicant with regard to this application and specifically with regard to the testimony you just heard, you could call 973-321-1579. You enter meeting ID number 711-680-001. Let's give it a moment to see if anybody calls.
I haven't used this for.
We have no callers at this time, commissioners and staff.
Thank you. Next witness, or would you like to sum up?
That will conclude our testimony, Mr. Chairman. We'll sum up briefly. Thank you for hearing us again on a special meeting basis. As the testimony, I think, is made clear, this is a very established, successful Paterson business. He hires and retains strictly Paterson residents who live in the immediate area. We believe that the expansion for storage area is a realistic one and one that really conforms to and is similar and comparable to surrounding other heavy industrial uses. This is a permitted use in this zone. This building has been used in this fashion and probably a more intensive heavy industrial use in the past as well. We believe that we've established a strong basis for the granting of the variances. This is an existing building. We're not adding to the footprint, but we can't change the setback criteria. We don't think the height variance creates any sort of negative impact, excuse me, and it does allow for a much more functional utilization of the space at this time. And again, we don't believe that given the nature of the heavy industrial area, any issues would be raised in terms of the parking. His testimony under oath is very clear, and he does own numerous other parcels. He's actively engaged in acquiring those types of properties to keep his businesses in Paterson and, in fact, hopefully expand in other locations as well. We think we've addressed the planner's comments and requests for testimony regarding garbage and recycling in a positive way. We've explained fully the nature of the products that are being shipped here. It's obviously become a very successful business, and there is no impact on the public in terms of health. These are canned products. So again, it's an opportunity for a thriving Paterson business to allow itself to function within the confines of a zone that's designed for this use. So I would think respectfully then at this point, we ask the board for a motion for consideration of site plan D variance and bulk variance approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Gary, do you have anything?
Yes, Chairman and Commissioners. The application has 2 D variances, one for height, one for floor area ratio. So 5 affirmative votes are required. And the parking, which I always defer to the commissioners, 9 spaces are required and 0 spaces are proposed. Now, if the board should deem fit to approve the application, the condition should include Nassar revising his plan to show recycling and refuse in the dumpsters and where they're located, and a few issues on the zoning chart. Now, again, across the street was not part of this application, but there is no, in the city of Paterson, container storage on any properties. So if there are container storage on the property next to the old diner, they should be removed because they are not permitted outdoors. And additionally, one of the other conditions should be, along with Commissioner Monaro's suggestion, no pallets, no vehicles, and no equipment should be on the sidewalk since the building is on property line on both streets. That's all I have, Jen.
Thank you, Gary. Can I get a motion?
Commissioner Monaro,
Can I have a second?
I'd like to make a motion to deny to deny the application. And I think it's just if they would reconsider and doing something, one less floor, or maybe just a higher floor, that would just be a better suit.
Commissioner White, second the motion.
Thank you, commissioners. Madam Secretary?
Commissioners, Commissioner Baralt, yes or no on denial?
You might be muted.
I would say no.
Commissioner Furman, Commissioner Furman,
Most of the people on this board knows that I love to see improvement, but I like to see a little bit better application. At this time, my vote is no.
Commissioner,
your vote would
hold on,
be
we need-
yes
hold
on
on.
denial. You're voting on the denial, am I correct?
Yes,
So your vote would be yes on denial.
yes on deny.
Commissioner Baralt, you understand that as well?
Yes, I do. My vote is not on denial.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Minaudo,
Yes on the denial.
thank you. Commissioner Watkins,
Yes on the denial.
thank you. Commissioner White,
Yes on the denial?
Commissioner Arenas,
Yes.
Chairman Rohim.
Yes, as my colleague said, I wish it was something better, maybe with one less floor, or if there's any way to make parking for at least a couple of the employees. So my vote will be yes on denial.
So there's six votes yes for denial, one no. This application has been denied.
Thank you.
Can we close this one and then open the other one?
Yes.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Okay, give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Commissioners, would you like to take a break? Okay,
Of
so
course.
Yes.
we'll take a 5-minute
Yes.
break.
Thank you.
Yes.
Madam Secretary, is everyone back?
Commissioners, can you please put your mics and your cameras up so I can see if you're back? Okay. We're good.
Okay.
You want me to read the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like me to read the entire thing or just the,
No, just.
This is a new meeting. This is a new meeting. You have to do everything.
I know I was just gonna say, but I was trying to think if I could get out of that, but that's fine. It's okay. Today's Thursday, March 31st, 2022, 8 p.m. This is a notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act addressing effects of coronavirus measures on the next public meeting consistent with the coronavirus-related restrictions of Executive Order Number 107, given on Saturday, March 21st, 2020, by Governor Philip D. Murphy. The Board of Adjustment of the City of Paterson will not conduct in-person participation of the public at all future meetings until further notice. However, public participation will be available by means of communication equipment pursuant to NJSA 10-4-8, commencing on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. Though there may potentially be a practical need for a limited number of administrative, technical, or other city personnel to be present in or near the council chambers, 3rd floor, City Hall, 155 Market Street, Paterson, New Jersey, in-person participation of the public is prohibited. Nevertheless, for reasons of compliance with the said Executive Order Number 107, public participation will be available by calling 973-321-1579, meeting ID number 711-680-001. On the date and time that the meeting is scheduled to commence, the public may also participate in the meeting by accessing the website of the City of Paterson, www.patersonnj.gov. The application is for Day Properties LLC, 9-13 Day Street, 382-386 Dakota Street, 388 and 392 Dakota Street, Block 6913, Lots 4, 5, and 6. This was adjourned from the regular meeting of March 10, 2022. This application is to demolish an existing one-story commercial building and then construct a new 4-story 30-unit apartment building on a 15,387 square foot lot. The minimum lot size for a 1- and 2-family dwelling is 50 by 100 feet in an R2 zone. The applicant proposes 40 parking spaces and an apartment vestibule on the first floor. There will be 31 bedroom apartments per floor. There will be 24 one-bedrooms and 6 2-bedroom apartments for a total of 36 apartments in the proposed building. The applicant will provide 40 parking spaces of the 55 parking spaces that are required. This is for use bulk, D variances, and site plan in an R2 zone. This is your agenda, Chairman and Commissioners. I will now call the roll.
Thank
Give
you.
me one moment, please. Commissioners, Commissioner Baralt.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Furman.
Present.
Commissioner Minauro. Commissioner Minauro.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Watkins.
Present.
Commissioner White.
Present.
Commissioner Arenas.
Present.
Commissioner Vega.
Present.
Thank you. And Chairman Rohim.
Present.
Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Chairman, shall I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Reading the agenda, Alan Maricondo, 726 Market Street, Paterson, on behalf of the applicant, Day Properties LLC. We appreciate the special meeting scheduling. We realize it's after 9 o'clock. We'll do our best to be expeditious in our testimony.
but there will be the architect, Mr. Nasser will be pinch hitting for Mr. Evans in this case tonight. Mr. Evans had a sudden conflict problem or scheduling problem, I should say. And also the applicant, as well as the planning testimony from Stonefield Engineering. The initial reading of the matter indicated we are down to 30 units, which is correct. Somewhere in the middle of the recitation, it was referred to as 36, but it is not. Again, as per Gary's report, 24 units, 1 bedroom, 6 units will be 2 bedrooms. So we conform with the planner's review in that sense. This is a project that the applicant has been working on diligently with your staff for several months. This is in the R2 zone, as you're aware. We've made several modifications as we've worked with your staff, which Nasser, after his overview of the site, will address those issues that were covered during the course of our reviews and the modifications. I would just like to remind the commissioner, most of whom are not here probably when this site came up before the board in the past. This is an old site that was unfortunately a liquor establishment that created a lot of problems in that neighborhood, and eventually was closed down. That building's been vacant for quite some time. There was another approval that was not acted upon for office space and residential above. So that was a mixed use. Now we're the first purely residential use that's coming before the board on this site. We realize we do have variances and both use and bulk with regard to this proposal, but we have downsized it already, and we hope that based upon your hearing of this testimony, you'll agree with us that this is a proposal that's very suitable for this area, given the surrounding approvals that have taken place, as well as the specific design of this building on this particular site. So that being said, we'll call Nasser as our first witness.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your full name for the record, please.
Nasser Al-Mukhtar, Almukkhtar.
Chairman, we ask for his consent as expert.
Yes, we accept.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nasser, obviously this was not your site plan originally, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Evans had prepared it and worked with the staff with regard to modifications, but he had a family matter, so you're essentially filling in for him tonight.
Yes.
Okay. With respect to this plan, I guess you'll be posting that as well?
Yes. Should I do it now?
Yeah.
Let me try it one more. Are the plans visible, commissioners?
Not yet.
I'm still learning. Sorry.
We know how it goes.
You're in the speaker though. You can just talk.
Yeah.
Are we good now?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Any luck now?
We see your screen, but not the page.
You don't see the drawings?
No, not yet.
Let me try one more time. Yeah.
Chairman, did we get those plans sent? Chairman,
Okay, it's on speaker.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sorry.
did we get? I know we got the plans for.
Yeah, no, we didn't get plans for this one. We only got the plan for the other one.
I don't think you see it now, do you?
No, we don't see it yet.
Sorry, Commissioners. Let me try one more time.
Okay, now we see your screen, but not the plan yet. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now we see it.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Mr. Chairman, you have it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the delay.
It's a big file also, so. Okay, so as mentioned before, this is the property located at 9-11 Day Street. The proposal is for a 4-story apartment building. The first floor would be a lobby, sets of staircases, an elevator, plus parking and some refuse and recycling spaces.
Now, sorry, could you give the last revision date, please, on that plan for the record?
Sure.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Last revision date is dated February 14, 2022.
Thank you.
Sure. This is, I believe, the 4th revision based on what is mentioned on the drawings. So again, this is located in the R2 zone. I'm going to zoom into the zoning chart. I think Mr. Paparazzi's zoning.
Right, you can cover the zoning chart in a general sense, and of course, there will be planning testimony.
Yeah, I will just allude to the lot area, 15 minimum required. We have 15,357 square feet. We have some other bulk variances and setback variances, and there's a planner that will testify for that. There is an open space that we're providing, and I will explain to in a moment. The amenities area, and then we're providing a rooftop terrace area. So total is 6,829 square feet is provided, and the required is 4,800 square feet of open space. So we are providing more than they required. A parking variance, 55.2 versus 49 total, 44 plus the EV, 5 EV, so we have 49 total. 12 of those cars will be stacked, and I'll explain, I'll go to that in a moment. That is briefly those requirements that I wanted to mention, and obviously the planner will go into detail on that. The existing conditions, there's a commercial use, I believe it was a liquor store or something.
A bar, more like, yeah.
Bar. And the proposal again is to provide a 4-story apartment. Moving on to the site drawings, this sheet is basically general details as per the requirements of the city engineer's office, the standards of parking spaces, the standards of paving, and what have you. There's also the soil erosion and sediment control. This will obviously be subject to the Hudson Essex Passaic Soil Conservation District. And then this illustration is for the grade level parking lots plus the entrance and exit and the lobby areas. So we are providing, I'm trying to zoom in, 40 parking spaces in this area, and then excuse me, there are 12 parking spaces here where my pointer is. And those proposed 6 parking spaces plus 6 above them is a stackable system. This is where my pointer is the proposed stackable system, the Technopark and Slide Park photo. So there will be 6 parking below on grade level and 6 spaces above, and this will be each one for those residents who have 2 cars. Also, I should mention that there will be an attendant 24 hours. 2 of the apartments will be for the apartment complex supers, and they will be rotating to have a full-time attendant for these parking lots. There's also space for refuse, and 2 containers. And there's also a space for recycling.
Mr. Paparazzi's report talks about the storage of recycling per floor.
Yes.
Is that functional in terms of the use of the hallway areas?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I think maybe he can mention that, what his concern was, because I really didn't. And then this is the recyclables area. This page is very large in size. And then I'm just going to zoom really quickly into the entrance. There's a lobby area. This is an entrance off of Day Street. This is an elevator, and you have a staircase here. And then there is a sprinkler and utilities room. There's a storage and mailbox area, and then there's a reception area. And then there is a powder room area also here for the attendant. So there will be 2 entrances to the parking lot, one off of Day Street and the second one off of Dakota Street. This is the one that leads to the 12 parking spaces plus the 4 parking spaces here, as well as the recycling space. The typical floor areas, which is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, we're proposing to have 10 apartments on each floor. This is the count for the apartments. So mostly it will be 1-bedroom units. On each floor, we will have 8 1-bedroom units and 2 2-bedroom units. Total will be 30 units.
24 and 6, I believe, right?
24 and 6 for a total of 30 units.
Right.
And this, I believe, was a reduction from the 36
Yes.
before. So each shade area highlights one of the apartments. It's very efficient layout. Open space in terms of the living and dining, and then you have a bedroom and you have a bathroom. And of course, you have separate utilities for each unit. All those units are all accessible units. And then on each floor, we're also having an amenities area. There's some treadmills, there's some weightlifting areas. This is 646 square feet on each floor. The upper floor is slightly different. It's basically the same square footages, but it's slightly different layout in terms of the door openings. And this space does have a powder room, and it's a small exercise room basically for the residents of each floor. So that's the floor plan area. Also, it's worth mentioning that 1, 2, 3 of the units will have the outdoor terraces also.
And that's in addition to the rooftop terrace?
That's correct. They have their own private terraces on each floor. And this unit also. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units on each floor. They will have their own private terraces.
Do you have a page that depicts the rooftop terrace as well?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt your flow. But...
No problem. So this is the roof plan. This is the rooftop open area for the use of the residents. It would have some landscaping, rooftop landscaping. It would have some benches and some pavers so that the residents can enjoy it. And then the rest of the roof would be dedicated to mechanical spaces. In terms of the elevations, it's a 4-story building. These are the terraces that I referred to earlier. Total height proposed is 52 feet and 1 inch. This is the rear elevation facing the parking lot. And then this is Day Street elevation. These are the overhead doors leading to the parking. This is the main entrance of the building off of Day Street and leads to the lobby and the elevator. This elevation is Dakota Street elevation. We also have balconies on that side, and we have an overhead door that leads to the 16 spaces that are on the other side of the parking lot. So that's basically it. I think I covered the roof plan. Yeah, the roof plan, the open space area. So that's basically it. That's subject to any questions.
Okay. Now again, I'm sure Mr. Paparazzi will discuss with you the parking alignment and arrangements. So yes. We won't belabor that until he has an opportunity to discuss that with you.
Sure.
The exterior of the building has security and lighting. I just wanted to follow up on that.
Yes, it does. There is a lighting plan on the first page. The parking lot is fully lit, and the sidewalks are also lit. So, and the security cameras will be there as well.
Okay, so bear in mind, and we'll be hearing testimony later on from a planning perspective. That would conclude Mr. Nasser's testimony at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, may I continue?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Nasser, I know this is not your plan, so I'll hopefully that you can follow along with me, but I'm going to start first with the zoning chart. Okay. On Mr. Evans' plan, he has the open space requirement as 4,800 square feet. The open space requirement is 6,300 square feet.
Oh, okay.
It was on previous reports. Now, what you propose is the rooftop terrace, which is 2,500 square feet of open space. And you have 1,938 square feet of amenity. But you do not have 6,000 square feet of open space. The 9 units that have a terrace do not count for open space. The open space is supposed to be for the entire building, not just separate units. So So the open space requirement is 6,300 square feet, and 2,500 square feet is provided. And there is another 1,938 square feet of amenity, so you're still short by some 2,500 square feet. So that's a variance. Your parking requirement was 55 because of electric cars. That goes down. The spaces provided does not go up. The space required goes down. You still, on your application, are providing 44, but the application should say 50, so that's incorrect as well. He needs to show a front setback on Dakota Street, a minimum side for the two sides, which he does not show. And I have the building coverage as 73%, as opposed to Mr. Evans' 68. And the floor area ratio I have as 2.9 as opposed to Mr. Evans' 2.8. So those are issues that the zoning chart has to get changed. Now, if you go to sheet A2 on your screen, right by the amenities area, if you can. All right, and that's good. Thank you, Nasser. What he proposes right here by the steps is a garbage chute. Yes, there is no area to store the recycling. When people on the upper floors want to throw out their garbage, they can throw out their garbage. The cardboard, which usually doesn't go down the recycle chute, is usually stored in a room. This was also on 3 of my reports. There had to be a room for the recyclable. Right now, the cardboard is going to be stored in the hallway, which is a safety hazard and a fire hazard. That was the concern about the garbage chute. Now, let's go back to sheet A1. Okay. If you want to blow that up just a little. Okay. Now, to the left, you have an area called recyclable area. Yeah. And then you have another one, it's called recyclable area, which is probably, oh no, this is the refuse area. There doesn't seem, the other one, right, it doesn't, there is no door to get the bins out. Mr. Evans didn't provide a door for the containers to get out of the building. So that's another issue that I have with Mr. Evans' plan. Okay. Now I'm gonna talk about the parking. Commissioners, and Nasser and Mr. Mariconda, the initial parking requirement was 55, and because there is a courtesy for the electronic cars, that requirement went down to 50 because it was 10%. But there is issues I have with this stacked parking. Now, the stacked parking, there are a few issues. The first issue is where they come in and out is where they're going to have the stacking. So if somebody has to stop their car for the attendant to lift up their space, they'd be blocking the entrance or exit or both. If there's more than one person trying to park on that lift, obviously there's no place to store those cars and they would be blocking that entrance. That's one of my problems. The second problem I have is this is the kind of parking that you see like in Manhattan when you go to a parking lot where the the lot is just entirely for parking. This is, in my opinion, this is not a good concept for a residential development. I know that they propose an attendant to be there 24/7. Obviously, they need 3 attendants, because if they do 8-hour shifts, you need 3. You need at least 3, and providing no one is sick or on vacation, you may need more. But I don't like the way it fits with a residential development. It's more of a parking lot, advantageous and a common situation. It's not really suited for residential development. So I want the board to consider that, because I think there are going to be several issues with that you can't address. Now, so that being said, we have the parking that I have a problem with. There's zoning issues. There are the recycling. I had addressed that 3 times and it was never addressed. Also, no parking to 3 feet to the property line is a variance, which is also not listed on his zoning chart, Mr. Evans' zoning chart. So all of these things would need to be addressed. All right, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have for Nassau on this. I do have no concerns about that parking.
Okay, any commissioners? Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner White,
Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
were there, as far as the parking is concerned, and that is an issue, but would this be paid parking for the tenants?
Alan, we can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Alan?
The computer might have froze.
I'm checking to it.
It shows on the participant list that their mic is muted.
Can we talk or we have to swear? No?
Alan, check your microphone.
We're trying.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, now we hear you.
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, what was the question then?
Paid parking.
Oh, the paid parking. No, there is no anticipation of having any paid parking. This is parking as a courtesy to the tenants on the site.
Okay, well then, regarding the attendant, how many shifts will there be? I mean, are there 3 shifts, and how many people will be on staff full-time around the clock?
The applicant will have to testify about the number of persons, but obviously with the 24-hour nature, there would have to be several.
Okay, so I'll wait for him to answer that. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any other commissioner?
Commissioner Vega,
Yes, Commissioner Vega, go ahead.
thank you for our planner. So just to see here, I mean, regarding the architect incorrect information on the maximum lot of 20 to 73%, did we clear that?
Commissioner, what percent? I didn't hear what you said. Yeah, what percent did you ask for?
Regarding the max lot coverage of 20% to 73 proposed, the architect was incorrect. Now, did they clear all these incorrect information on the plans?
No, they did not. There are several mistakes which I mentioned. He didn't mention he didn't even list the no parking 3 feet to the property line. The open space is incorrect. The parking is incorrect. He didn't list the front setback to Dakota. that is not even on, and I had a difference on floor area ratio and lot coverage, which he did not address or correct. And also, obviously you need a door by the garbage to get it out of the building. He has the chute and he has the refuse area, but there is no door provided for.
These things have to be addressed.
Yes.
You know, I like the concept, but I see that there's a lot of things that need to be addressed before we can make a great decision here. And regarding the parking, I've never seen a system like that in a residential. I mean, might not work. I don't know. I never seen it like that, but I think it's when people coming home, they have to drive and have somebody park the car like it was like you go in a restaurant or something like that. You know, it's gonna take some time. So I don't know. But I would like to see this. I like the plan. It's just I would like to see a lot of things corrected so we can make a better decision on how we're gonna go forward with this. In my opinion, that's just me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commissioner?
Commissioner White, with that being said, with Mr. Vega and a planner, so, and for us to actually make, a decision on this, and we were looking for these items to be corrected, because the way they stand now, nothing's been corrected. So how do you feel that we should proceed with this if we have this issue at this juncture? Chairman?
Mr. LaRocca, are you there, sir?
Yes, Marco, are you on?
No, I'm here. There was I thought it was a question of the chairman.
Yeah, so I know in the past we did mix of both. Some applications we continue to hear it. Some of them we told them to come back to correction. So
Well, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Can I jump in for a moment?
yeah,
sure.
I think that's probably a better served question for our planner in terms of if he thinks it makes sense to continue and then have the corrections, or if he thinks it's better served.
Fine, planner, well, okay, could I get an answer then?
Yes,
I get an answer.
yes, Commissioner and Chairman, the recycle area, the chute, is going to have to be larger, so that may affect the size of the apartment, which may be another variance if they put another room there. Obviously, the zoning chart issues, they can be amended. Obviously, he has to show a door by where the garbage room is. The big issue here, I think, would be if you think that commercial lift system is going to work in a residential development. If it's not, then your parking deficit is 12 spaces. If you think that works, then it's 6. Aside from it being more of a non-residential issue, when people go there to park, if 2 or 3 of those people go to park and there's one attendant, you're talking 20 minutes.
Can I stop you for a second, Gary?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now you're getting into the application and the proposal. That's a little different of a question. So in terms of whether the parking, so in terms of the door, certainly they can continue tonight, complete it, and show a door later. In terms of correcting the chart, certainly they could do that and correct that later. The parking, that's ultimately going to be a decision that's going to be decided on. Having said that, you raised one concern that I think might be a concern, that the modification may change the footprint of the building. One modification.
They need that he, Mr. Evans just shows a chute. So it's like a closet door type situation where it should be more of like a walk-in closet, so they can use the chute and then stack the recyclables in that room, and then have maintenance empty it every day or every couple hours. So if they make that room, there's a 2-bedroom apartment proposed next door to that, and it may trigger a variance because of size.
Right, but if it triggers a variance for a size, then if we're completing the application and testimony and coming back with corrections, then we're gonna have to kind of revisit it. I mean, that to me seems like that's the issue that I think needs to be flushed out as to
Yeah.
whether we proceed tonight or come back. So that, everything else I heard is either a decision for the board or a correction that can be made later.
And one other thing to note, Mr. LaRocca, my revised letter that has all of this on was dated 3/8/22. So that was a month ago, or almost a month ago. But, okay.
Mr. Maricano,
Obviously, leave it to you and the board.
no, I mean, Mr. Maricano, my concern is based on the discussion about the shoot, where there's a discussion as to additional variances. That to me is a little concerning to have testimony and then there may be additional variance or change in the footprint or the layout of the building. All the other things seem like they could just be addressed. I'd like to hear from you with regard to that one issue. You're muted again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
Mr.
hear you now.
A series of requests that Gary had made prior to this letter, covering some various issues. But clearly, these are open things that I think I agree with you. Most of them could be conditions in terms of amendments to the site plan. What we'd like to do is at least, if possible, get the applicant's testimony on tonight, because I don't think that would be so technical in terms of modifications that are being talked about. Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know if it affects the modification with regard to the additional variance in the floor layout. I don't know. I don't know what kind of questions. I mean,
I don't think that really gets impacted by his test about the nature of the project. I don't think, but that's obviously the board.
So then I'm going to defer to the board. I don't know, right?
Okay.
I mean, I can't envision that it may or may not, to be honest with you.
Right, he wouldn't be able to make the technical decision about the impact on the parking space. I agree with you, but I would love to see if I could get him on just for testimony, that part of the testimony that's not related to that.
Commissioner White, you raised the issue, so why don't you take the lead?
Take the lead with what?
In terms of how you think we should proceed, or how you guys want to, the board proceed?
Well, from what I just heard, from what I heard, Gary just mentioned too that he had submitted this letter on March the 8th, 2022. And I assume, I guess from where it stands now, looking at these outstanding issues that they have not been corrected, and I know Mr. Evans is not here to, talk to it. So if these issues, and if it changes the footprint too, then that's another issue. So my opinion, I just think we just need to, not hear this tonight. That's my opinion.
Mr. Maricano, there's another concern that just kind of, not that the concern itself was brought to my attention, but the fact it was brought to my attention just made me think about something. There's several objectors that are on the line.
Yes.
So I'm a little concerned about piecemealing it, right? So in other words, if we think, this is my thought, and ultimately it's just my thought, if we think based on everything we heard from Mr. Paparosi and from the applicant that this could continue tonight and then it could be conditions, again, I gave my concern about potential new variances and changing the footprint. But if it was one thing where it could be heard, that's one thing. But to do it piecemeal when we have objectors and we may not have objectors and how that can lead to confusion, I don't think it's a good idea, especially in light of the fact that regardless of how the vote goes, whether it's an approval or denial, there's a potential for litigation. I just don't think it makes a clean record. So my thought is, whether we finished it tonight or not, if it's something that we can continue with straight through tonight, as opposed to just let's just get the applicant's testimony and then come back and hope it doesn't affect those variances, I don't think that's a good idea. But again, I'll defer to the board.
Okay, again, we would like to do that in terms of the applicant's testimony. I respect your opinion as well.
So do we need to make a motion here to table this?
Yeah,
or-
let's make a motion,
So I would like to make a motion to table this or change the date on this to get, obviously, the architect in hand when he gets back, obviously, and to, to do the changes that needs to be done and proceed from there.
Commissioner White seconded the motion.
Madam Secretary?
Commissioners, Commissioner Baralt,
I second it. I agree.
thank you. Commissioner Furman, Commissioner Furman,
Yes, I agree.
Commissioner Minaudo,
Yes.
Commissioner Watkins,
Yes to being tabled.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Arenas.
Yes.
I'm gonna call everyone because I just realized I
I can't vote, right?
no.
But before you call everybody, when we refer to table, I just want to be clear for the record again, and for those watching, we're talking about having the matter carried so that those corrections could be made. Not necessarily it's being tabled. It's going to be carried.
Yes.
Carried.
So
I was
yeah, and we'll give again just so the record's clear and it's clear to the people watching.
And Mr. Rocca, the testimony that's been offered tonight is part of the record. So you would agree?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think anything's changed that that drastically, unless ultimately when we see the corrections that there was a reason not to do it. I would think this testimony is incorporated. Yes, I would.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we
Yeah,
can.
but again, I think we would have to defer to the experts in terms of the modifications, how substantial they are.
Right. The modification, any testimony and the applicant's testimony would follow, yes.
Commissioner Burrell, Madam Secretary, how many times have we heard this case already?
One moment.
It was carried a couple times, Commissioner, for procedural reasons, and also because we didn't get reached late at night once, so, and there's been a lot of work being done, additional modifications requested.
Yeah, my question that's the reason I asked the question, because if we're going to table this, we would like to see everything in compliance the next time we look at this. I think we wasted enough time already on this when we could have been giving somebody else a chance to be heard. That's all I'm saying. That's all I have.
The architect, how much time will it take you to get this corrected?
Well, I'll convey those notes by Mr. Paparazzi to Mr. Evans, because he's actually the architect of record.
And Mr. Chairman, also, this matter originally was carried to a regular meeting of April 28th. We tried to move it up to expedite the process to tonight's meeting. If we could get the April 28th date, if that's still available, I'm very confident we'll be ready.
Mr. Chairman, just like Maggie, I guess.
Oh. Commissioner Vega?
No, Mr. Laconda is actually requesting to move the date to April 23rd?
Are we gonna finish the vote?
Yes, I don't know.
Maggie, do you have to do a revote or something?
So can we stop, Maggie? Where are we at with the vote?
You need a Commissioner Vega and a Chairman Rogan.
Okay, what do you need to know? Because I was trying to get on the calendar to see.
Can you finish the voting?
Let's finish the vote, then we'll do the calendar. I think there might be one or two commissioners who haven't been called on the motion to whether or not it was going to be adjourned. So let's complete it. Let's first determine that it is going to be adjourned, and then we'll talk about it.
Commissioner Vega, your vote?
Yes. I don't think we were saying table it. We're going to say.
No, you don't table, carry.
Yeah. We're going to carry. Yes.
Commissioner Rohim,
Yes.
that is your vote in the affirmative, Paul.
So the
carried.
matter's going to be carried. Now let's discuss the date.
Mark, we have some public, I believe, that called in. Should we get them on or?
They are on and they're listening, so you can proceed and they will hear you. You have
Just-
8.
Right. To the members of the public, the matter is not going to be heard this evening. You heard some testimony this evening. You'll have an opportunity to address and ask questions with regard to the testimony you heard tonight, the testimony you're gonna hear at the next meeting. The matter is being carried because there are corrections and modifications that need to be made. Council will have the modified plans be available within the city pursuant to the applicable statute and the proper time period. So you will have the opportunity to review those modifications to the plans. We're about to get the new date when this matter will return so that you will be able to attend and again, ask questions and give comment during the public comment portion.
Madam Secretary?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think she heard you. I don't know what,
No, I think she was looking at her Madam Secretary, you're on mute.
I know that. I'm looking through the calendar. Give me one more moment, please, okay? I appreciate that. Thank you for your patience. One moment. Mr. Maricondo, you stated April 28th? Alan?
Yes, I'm sorry, we were muted briefly.
You mentioned April 28th?
The original carry date was April 28th. We tried to move the application quicker by asking.
It appears that that's not a good date. I'm trying
Okay.
to read the clerk's calendar during the morning to see what she has scheduled. So let me see what I have available, okay? One moment. May 26th is available. Alan?
Okay, well, obviously, we have to abide by that determination.
That is a regular meeting.
That special time requirements would be waived through that date.
Do you know that is a regular meeting?
Right.
If you choose to change it to a special, please let me know. But that would be the date that is given, and do you waive your statutory time requirements?
Yeah, I just did on the record, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. This matter has been carried to May 26, 2022 at 7:30 p.m.
To the members of the public, there will be no further notice. This is your notice of the new date of May 26, 2022. Thank you.
Are you gonna do the minutes now or next time?
Oh, we'll do it now.
Hold on. Okay, we have 2 sets of minutes. February 24th, 2022. And March 10th, 2022. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Commissioner White?
In second.
Commissioner Watkins is second.
Yes.
Madam Secretary, do I have to vote on these, is there a specific persons to vote on, or does it really matter?
You have to vote yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I will call everyone because some of them are on one, not on the other. So we'll just do it collectively here. So the commissioners are Commissioner Baralt,
Yes.
Commissioner Furman,
Yes.
Commissioner Minauro,
Yes.
Commissioner Watkins,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Arenas,
Yes.
okay, and Commissioner Vega,
Yes.
and Chairman Rohim.
Yes.
These minutes have been adopted. Thank you very much. I have no further business this evening.
Enjoy your weekend.
Do you have anything to discuss, or we're good?
Nothing other than applications.
Maggie, you want to share the service of Commissioner?
The service for.
I think that should probably be privately shared.
Yes, I want to try and keep this to a minimum, only about applications in our meeting. I did send out an email, so everyone will have it. If it's sent out to all the commissioners, and tomorrow it will be sent out to all the employees in the city of Paterson.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening. Mr. Chairman Rohim, can you close the meeting, sir?
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you. Have a
evening,
good night,
everyone.
Have a good night, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Yes.
John, meeting